Hey folks, welcome back. So this week we are continuing on again with some of our projects that we've been doing for the last week or two or three or four. And one of the things we'll be working on is the old manure spreader. It's like 100 plus years old. We'll be doing a little more work on that. And then also hopefully we will be finishing off, or at least getting very, very close to finishing off, the burning for the scrap wood that was left over from the old barn over there. So let's head outside and we'll get to work. Alrighty folks, so today we are gonna get back to doing a little bit of work here on the old manure spreader. And the next step is to try and start replacing some of these cross pieces along here. Now, before we can do that, well, before we can really do the whole thing, because we have these rollers that go along here. There's one on that side, and then there'll be one that goes along on this side too. We pulled that one off before we moved it so we didn't lose any of the little rollers. But we need to bring the apron down here, and the apron is sort of your conveyor belt that runs along through here. We need to bring the apron down, and that is up in the old tobacco barn up there. That way we can get a measurement on that to see how far apart these rollers need to be before we start marking or notching anything like that into these cross pieces. All right, so we're up here at the old barn, and this thing right here, that is our apron, conveyor belt, whatever you want to call it. And we have a little bit of stuff that we need to clear out of the way here, but we should just kind of be able to roll that right over here, put it right into the bucket, and then haul it down that away over to the mill house where the spreader is. All right, well, despite having to dodge a couple rain showers yesterday, we did manage to get all three of these wooden cross pieces out of here. And so today we are gonna try cutting out three new ones from those beams back there that we cut, I guess, a couple weeks ago. Now in here, they had these pins that had sort of a cross bolt going through it that were holding these in place. Some of these are good, and some of these, which like you can't really see, but this one right here, it's not so great anymore. It's mostly rusted away. So I think I'm gonna try replacing these with some leg screws. Now I don't have any of those on hand at the moment, so I'm gonna have to get some of those, but we can go ahead and get all these beams cut to length without having the screws on hand. All right, well, the fire is actually burning pretty well today. I think we're starting to get into some drier wood from the barn, but while that burns down a little bit more, we are gonna try connecting in, and I'm trying to use the tripod to hold this. It's not quite so easy. We've got these rods that come across through here, and there's 4 of them, and they go in diagonally into our beam across through here. So we need to drill a few holes in there and then run those through, tighten them down, and then that'll really hold that in there, and it should help to keep this frame a whole lot more rigid as well. Well, now that we have the center one in there, we got our rods connecting into that. I guess let's see if we can't cut a couple more out of these 2 pieces over here for our front and back cross pieces and get those ready to go. And then maybe tomorrow I'll be able to pick up some lag screws that we can run through the holes into the beams to hold them in place. Alrighty folks, that is going to be it for this week's video. Next week we should actually be working on the windows again. So some of you are going to be excited to see that because we've kind of dropped off on working on that for the last few weeks. So as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.